Hello everyone, those who may come across this video. Hi, it's me again. I'm here on my second YouTube video because God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit is just really talking to me and showing me things. And I'm here to share those things with you guys. And I just want to give you a little background. I've always kind of been a dreamer, like as long as I can remember, but I've had few dreams that I know have been like directly from God and not just my subconscious. On February 9th, I went to sleep, and before I went to sleep, I just prayed and I basically asked God to give me something, a dream that he wants me to share with others. And it's kind of ironic because the dream that I had is a dream that I kind of lack interpretation on. So I'm hoping that praying, and I believe that somebody on here or that I meet along the way will be able to interpret my dream, because I think it has a really deep meaning. I feel it strongly, but I just don't know what the meaning is. So yeah, let me get right to it. So in my dream, I was walking down the street, and the road was kind of like a desolate place, kind of seemingly like Book of Eli, but like not that desolate. So there were still like houses and a few people out walking around, a few animals, but it was nothing like today. There was no sun, even though I knew it was daytime. It was like the gloomiest day you can think of. A few weeds, like tumbleweeds in the streets. It was just kind of like the order of the world was just like not the same. Like there was no police officers driving around and no street sweepers, just trying to paint that picture. And I had such an urgency to get to my Jeep. Like I had to get to my Jeep because I needed to get to my Jeep to go get clothes. I don't know what I was getting clothes for or why I needed to get to my Jeep. And why was my Jeep not with me? I don't know. But I'm walking, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta get there. And I, sorry, I'm getting a message. I'm walking, trying to find my Jeep, and I don't know the order of the events. That's one thing that like I can't remember the order, but I remember everything pretty distinctively. I remember walking, and I remember being at this beauty supply kind of like store that also sells clothes. I know that kind of sounds weird, but yeah, that's what it was. And there's this girl there, and she like owns the store, and she was a black girl, and she was crying, and she showed me this card, and on the card it basically said like we can no longer like deliver some type of hair product to your store. And she's like crying, and I'm like consoling her, even though I know I have to like hurry up and get somewhere. I still take the time to like basically like hug her and like tell her like it's okay, it'll be all right, everything's gonna work out. And that's what I'm telling her. And I don't remember how I got to my house, but I'm at my house now, and it's not the house I live in now. It's kind of like seemingly like an older house, and it's like made out of wood. Like the floor is all wood, and there's a lot of wood. And then as I go in my house, I try to like cut on the power, and all the power's out. And I don't know why all the power is out, but in the dream it was like, oh, okay, now we're at this stage. Like it wasn't a shock to me. It was like, okay, all right. But I remember when I was walking, the power was working, but nobody was like using power because I'm outside. But I get into my house, fast forward, and there's no power. It's like non-existent. It's just off, okay? And it was like, all right, well, this is the point that we're at in the world. And it was like, okay. And then I remember walking down a street, and as I'm walking down the street, I see this lady, and she is laying on a mattress with no sheets. There's a cover on top of her, but there's no sheets, and the mattress is just like on the floor. And there's a little baby right there next to her, the smallest, little, tiniest baby, okay, like a newborn baby. And as I look at the baby starts like just spitting up, throwing up blood, just like, it was just like, oh my God. And I'm just like staring at it, maybe 15, 20 feet away. And it's just like, you know, blood is just coming out the baby's mouth. And then I hear the words like 130 months. And I had an understanding that the baby was 130 months old. And seemingly like the baby died. But there's no way the baby could have been 130 months old, because the baby was like really, really small. So I'm like tripping out, right? And I woke up from the dream, and I wrote everything down on my notes in my iPhone. And basically it was just the details. It was February 10th at 7:03 in the morning is when I wrote the notes down. So I probably woke up around 7. And I was just praying like, God, what does that mean, 130 months? And I talked to my husband about it, and he was like, let me pray about it. And I've kind of like looked online, like, what does 130 mean in the Hebrew, and like, what does it mean? But I kind of feel weird looking online trying to get answers about a dream that God gave me, because I don't know if it's accurate. And I'm just praying that like God sends me somebody, hopefully on this YouTube channel, that can like interpret my dream for me, because I have the gift of dreams, but I do not have the gift of interpretation if it's not like clear and obvious. And I'm praying for that gift so that I can have understanding and discernment of my own dreams. But yeah, I prayed for God to give me something to share, and that's what he gave me. And he knows that I would lack understanding of the 130 months of this child and the throwing up of blood. I don't know what it means. I can't sit on here and lie, and I won't lie on God and say he told me something that he didn't. And yeah, that was my dream. If there's somebody out there, and I just pray it's like somebody honest and like really sent from God that understands this and that is willing to share with me. And maybe, somebody out there who's watching this have the gift of interpretation of dreams. And I would just love to know what that means, 130 months of this baby that was seemingly a newborn who was throwing up blood, and everything that comes along with what was going on in this day and how the world looked and the power being out. Yeah, so that's my dream. I thank you guys for listening. I know it was kind of long, almost 9 minutes. But yeah, I'm here if you guys want to talk. Bye.